ban them. Ban them all. I kid. As always, the Final Fantasy XIV development team's connections and ties to the player base truly is the Final Fantasy XIV advantage, and as always, before I even get into what they said here, my main takeaway is, oh my god, like, wow, our developers are, like, really care. Playing so many different games over the years, it's just like, you very rarely get this level of communication and clarification. This is exactly why we talk about the Final Fantasy XIV advantage in our community. It is amazing. So let's get into the point of this video. And so recently I covered some of the changes to prohibited activities, punishments in game, like bans, party finder, actions, and much more, selling of clears, can you buy clears, and so there was a very important follow-up, and to say the least, I think that just going over it will take a lot of pressure off of everyone's shoulders, because the community did in many ways respond to that punishment system update with a significant number of pretty valid concerns in some instances. I'm going to keep the full article in the description, but I'm going to be giving a bird's eye view and like condensed summary and my opinions of it here, so hopefully that's going to save some of you some time. Toshio Murouchi, the global community producer for Final Fantasy XIV, really came up and made this article just to provide some clarity, and they emphasized quite literally in red and bold, literally, that yes, they added the new party finder changes, but aside from those, there are no changes to communication related matters, and this policy will not have significant impacts on those who have been playing normally without incurring any violations so far. Not at like the start of the article, but later at the end of the article, they do say that the last revisions to the actual rules themselves regarding matters like that was in 2019. If you haven't been banned since 2019, you're pretty much going to be fine and play as you have been. They then get into the discussion of giving advice to players, and that there is no issue with giving advice, and that is, as most people would agree, something that is pretty important to playing with others, especially in an MMORPG. But then he describes that the problem is in people just believing their opinion is absolute and like godly fact, and just diminishment of others, and just being arrogant, using kind of nasty words. He uses the word oppressive speech, and just conduct that is generally not good. Basically, in short, don't be a douchebag. Like the one censored tank post that I covered recently on this channel. Don't be a douche. This then got into options like abandoning the duty, which I can say I personally will leave something and take a 30-minute penalty over trying to deal with some boiling over Kevin or Karen myself. Meow. Next thing that he wanted to clarify was on the selling of clears of content, such as T clears. Probably not T clears was what was in his mind, but he describes it as quote-unquote mercenary activities. He identifies that the problem was the enormous number of RMT vendors overloading the Party Finder utility and making it a mess, which as someone who has used Party Finder a lot is very, very true. Like I remember a new extreme trial would be posted with the like patch update, and sometimes a bunch of sellers just found it cute and smart to advertise as a Hades Extreme Farm Party. We're gonna sell you a Hades Extreme fight. Me, what? Okay, this is, calm down, get out of here. I mean, it's not really fun to go through this list of activities. I've had to many times now. They then stress that players can still request to hire people for help for various aspects of content. That's not a problem at all. Lastly, they ended this on personal experience and describing that they went into detail with their new updates and really tried to flesh out the documentation on prohibited activities, because in the past they have had some players simply not understand or question why they were suspended or what the actual issue was. Lastly, he brought up that the rules themselves have not changed since they were last revised in 2019, so if you've been fine up until now, well, then you're fine is pretty much exactly what he's trying to convey here. Finally, he ended on this quote that kind of resonated with even me. Due to the nature of an online game, the people we encounter in-game are also individuals with varying personalities, so our speech and conduct should always take others into consideration. I think that this is something that I actually have a very different vantage point as a YouTuber. Like, I talk to single mothers in game, I talk to fathers that are just going through like between jobs, I have talked to like young kids who've played this game and just tried to help get them started with the game. It has been like, you really actually don't know who's on the other end of the screen. Like, there's obviously like a lot of like mental health kind of stuff, especially given the past few years with the entire global situation going on. Like, you never really know who's on the other side of the screen, and I think that it's always important to remember that. Someone could say, why are you playing an MMORPG if you are a depressed like adult that was laid off of your job and like struggling with dying family members? At the same point in time, why couldn't they or shouldn't they go into an MMORPG and a fantasy, literal fantasy, Final Fantasy world to like relax? And I mean, is it really worth the rip and strip off of them? I don't know. I will never see it as worth it myself. Anyhow, that's all for this quick update, so just let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. For me, when I read the update, I didn't like the original update. I didn't think that things were going to go over the edge necessarily, but it's always comforting and reassuring for clarification. Kind of like what I said at the start of this video is, as always, the Final Fantasy XIV development team's connections and ties to the player base truly is the Final Fantasy XIV advantage, and as always, my takeaways from this is like literally, wow, our developers care and like go all the way to even like clarify things that in other games would never get a clarification. Really, this is why we talk about the Final Fantasy XIV advantage. It's actually such an amazing thing here. Yeah, that's it for this one. Take care, guys, and have a great day.